Good morning, everybody. Welcome into the Spotlight Omaha podcast, where we take you around the city of Omaha, introduce you to local business owners, influential figures, and people who are making an impact on our community today. We are brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing. Pixel Fire Marketing is a locally owned marketing firm who specializes in website design, creating social media ads, and engaging your brand online. Check out pixelfiremarketing.com if your business could benefit from any of that. We're joined in the Pyramid Contractor studio today by Bonnie Hershey with Hershey Holistics Health. Thanks for being here, Bonnie. I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you for having me.
When we talk about natural health, and there's obviously people with a wide range of opinions on it, what are some of the positive responses when you tell people what you do? And what are kind of some of the negative connotations around it that may be misled or uninformed?
Yes, that's a great question. Usually when I sit down with people, I start with a lot of questions about what they want to accomplish in their health. I'm not a doctor or a nurse or a nutritionist, but I just ask them where they're headed and where they'd like to go, what they'd like to see change. And then I just simply share with them some solutions that we have found and that other people have found to be helpful in addressing their nutrition, changing a little bit about what they're doing. I also talk to them about smart supplementation. And of course, there's a lot of noise in the supplement industry today. Sure. So helping inform them and educate them on what that means to make a smart decision when it comes to your supplementation and nutrition, and how that one decision can make a huge impact in your health moving forward. And so that's what I love.
Walk us through that process. If somebody is your ideal client or somebody that would benefit the most from what you guys are doing at Hershey Holistic Health, what does that person look like? What do they sound like?
Goodness. A lot of people that I talk to are folks who already have some health issues going on and may be dissatisfied with the kind of direction that their health is going currently. So it could be, they're dissatisfied with the different things that they're doing now that may have side effects that they want to get rid of. Or they may simply just be aware that, hey, if I get to a healthy weight in my life, then a lot of these other issues and symptoms could also go away. So I help people with that as well.
What are some of the common misconceptions that you guys deal with, whether it be positive or negative? Somebody that thinks, hey, maybe I thought this could have helped me with A, but it can't, or hey, this stuff doesn't work because of this. What are those type of misconceptions?
Goodness. Well, thankfully, I get to partner with an amazing company called Shaklee, and they are the most clinically proven wellness company in the world, and really pioneered the all-natural nutrition movement back in the 1950s. And Sure. So thankfully, I have an amazing brand partner that I lean on, and that creates amazing products with 100% money-back guarantee. So really, that's not much of an issue.
That's pretty rare.
Yeah. When I talk to people, 99% of the people I talk to are ready to get started and excited to make some changes to what they're doing.
Walk me through the Shaklee progress, because obviously they're, like you just mentioned, they're very important to what you guys are doing. How did that partnership come about, and what role do they play kind of in the day-to-day workings of Hershey Holistic Health?
Yes. I was actually introduced to the company 30 years ago when I was in high school. My best friend and her family were big Shaklee business leaders. Her parents started their business back in the 70s. And so I was new to all of that. That was new to me. Yeah. My parents, I grew up with them taking the one-a-day vitamins, and that was about it when it came to supplements or anything like that in our home. And of course, the all-natural product movement, the green movement, Shaklee was a pioneer in all of that before that ever became a big name or a big trend fad kind of thing. But I would say I started using products 30 years ago, and then about 15 years ago, my husband was going back to grad school, and I had 3 little kids at home under the age of 5. Yeah. And we were determined to get through grad school, which was going to be 5 years, debt-free. And I didn't want to put the kids in daycare. So I wanted to stay home. And Shackley kind of bubbled to the surface as an option for me because I was already familiar with the company. I was familiar with the products. They'd made a difference in our health. And so I was like, you know what? I can learn to do this. I can learn how to share with people. And that's kind of what started it as far as a business partnership.
Sure.
Back 15 years ago.
Can you do me a quick favor? Can you move the microphone just to like the left or the right? Like when you're talking, it's just kind of getting in the way of your face. There we go. Perfect. I want to make sure everybody can see you at home. I want to talk about the wide range of people that you help because you guys obviously have proven nutrition for kids as well. Why is there such an emphasis on what you guys do on the younger generations, and how do they benefit from what you guys are doing at Hershey?
Yes. Oh my goodness. I'm super passionate about helping parents with their kids' health because statistics have shown, like in the last 10 to 15 years, like if we don't change the trajectory of where our kids' health is going, it's already statistically shown that kids will live shorter lives than their parents. And we're already seeing that happen. And sadly, I already see that happen with some of my friends who have lost their kids to chronic health issues or disease or cancer or something of that nature. And we really need to be about on the prevention side. How can we get back to nature? And how can we be putting good things into our kids' bodies that are guaranteed to help them live longer lives, which is what we want.
If anybody hasn't stepped outside recently, there's been a major drop in the temperatures, which means the seasons are changing, which means the holidays are coming. And that's obviously always a difficult time for people to maintain a diet, eat healthy, or try to keep on their weight journey. What piece of advice do you give to people who are maybe slumping it on the couch on Thanksgiving with 4 pieces of pumpkin pie? What type of advice do you give to people that are trying to maintain a diet throughout the holiday season?
I'm assuming you mean maintain a healthy diet, right?
Yes.
Maintain some healthy eating habits. I would say even the small changes that you make can make an exponential difference. So if you make a small change today, like saying, hey, I'm going to not have soda anymore. I'm going to switch that for water. And it may seem like a small thing, but that can have an exponential difference in your health come 6 months from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now. In the same way, when we say, oh, I'm just going to eat, allow myself to eat dessert every night after dinner. I mean, if we're adding that in, that's also going to have an exponential effect in the negative, of our
absolutely.
health. So,
when we talk about healthy choices and doing things, like you said, getting back to nature, I think a lot of people look at the prescription drug industry now as either a Band-Aid or a long-term problem. What are some of the benefits you guys see in the short term for people using prescription drugs, and where have you guys seen it a long-term issue that kind of maybe natural substances can kind of subsidize that? Where do you kind of see that kind of heading long-term?
Oh, goodness. Yeah.
Fix the world's problems in 30 seconds.
Oh, golly. Yeah, man. And I think most people listening to this will understand because everybody's in this boat when it comes to their health and prescription medications. Our Western form of healthcare is actually more of sick care, where people are waiting until they're not feeling well. They're going to the doctor.
That's a good point.
And then all of a sudden, it's either a prescription med or surgery is being recommended. And all of those things come with side effects. And I know folks, who are on several prescription meds, but then on other meds to counteract side effects from those. And I think my read is, as I meet with people, is that people are starting to wise up a little bit more about the fact that they don't want just another medication thrown at them. They want an actual solution to their problem. They want to feel better. And so that's where I love sitting down with people and showing them that there is hope. There are things they can do naturally to help themselves feel better. And and work at building that good foundation of prevention in their lives.
We're catching up with Bonnie Hershey from Hershey Holistic Health here on the Spotlight Omaha podcast, brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing inside of the Pyramid Contractors studio. It kind of feels like ADHD to some degree is overdiagnosed in today's world, and obviously, there's always the discussion of the raise in numbers and autism and things like that. You guys take a unique approach to trying to help with diagnosis like that through a natural way. How are you guys doing that, and what is the result? What have the results been?
Yeah, and like I said, we're not doctors.
Sure.
And so we don't prescribe anything. We don't claim to heal anything. Simply the fact is, when you look at the symptoms that the body's presenting, oftentimes those symptoms, we use a simple, like, one-page tool where people fill out like a self-health assessment. And those symptoms often are greater indicators of nutritional deficiencies. And so what people don't realize is sometimes these symptoms, even symptoms going on in their kids, that they may think are unrelated, could actually be related to a foundational issue going on in the body.
That's a good point.
And so by putting in nutrients, the right nutrients in the right amounts delivered to the right places, it's amazing, but our bodies know what to do with those. And so our bodies are amazing healing and detoxing machines already. We just have to be able to fuel them with the right stuff.
It's not just your love and passion for what you do. Your belief is a big reason why you guys do what you do as well. Talk about your relationship spiritually with God, and why. What role does He play in Hershey Holistic Health as well?
Sure. So our faith is a big part of who we are. Just having that perspective that there is a creator, right? And there is a created order of things, even in nature. And I think that plays a lot into our worldview, and the fact that, God, whoever you want to call the creator yourself, but sure, God has put everything here in nature that we need for good health. And it's utilizing that and taking advantage of that, and getting back to that state so that we can then live healthier lives going forward. And I think as a culture, we've gotten away from that a lot in our food industry, and in our medical industry, where there's a lot of overuse, I think, of prescription medications, where a lot of issues could be solved by simply getting back to a healthier diet and healthier lifestyle. Yeah, and
it's interesting you bring up the diet portion of it, because I think anybody that thinks, I need to eat healthier, I need to eat more natural, is smelling kale and thinking about chopped salads. But if you look on your guys' recipes on your website, there's apple pie in there, there's crepes for kids and omelets and things like that. Are people often surprised when they see, hey, I can eat healthier, but there's also homemade pizza options that are a little bit healthier than dough crust and things like that? Yeah, and
I love the fact that we can eat great foods in moderation, and I don't call myself a sugar Nazi by any means, as you've probably seen on the website.
Yeah.
I'm not in that category, because I believe that, hey, we can have a little bit of sugar in some of our desserts and still enjoy those things, because there are a lot of natural sugars that we can utilize. We don't have to use artificial ingredients to create those things. That our bodies can still use. Obviously, it's all in moderation, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's an easy fix sometimes for people, is that there's simple things you can do at home that you don't have to buy at the store, that are easily replicated at home with all natural ingredients, where you get to control the salt, you get to control the sugar. Right. I think that's the big thing. You get control the ingredients in your cooking, and I think that's that's a good thing to get to.
Do you have a favorite item on your guys' recipe list?
Well, yes, we did live in Italy for 3 years, and
Rub that in, why don't you?
I love the Italian food. The Italians just know how to use simple, natural ingredients and create these amazing flavors, and they didn't use 20 ingredients to do it. And so I love the Simply Amazing pizza sauce. Like, we make our own pizza sauce. We make our own marinara sauce for pasta. I mean, it's so easy. And again, it takes out all the extra added salt and sugar that you find in a lot of the ones on the shelf.
We met through networking. That's how
Yes.
you and I got connected. How has networking helped or changed the way you do business?
Goodness, I have loved the networking space here in Omaha. I think we do a really good job of that. There's so many networking organizations here in Omaha.
To say the least. Yeah.
There are. My husband was involved in one, and now I'm involved with Centersphere. And I have just enjoyed getting to meet and know so many different people around the city. That's been awesome.
We're catching up with Bonnie Hershey from Hershey Holistic Health here on the Spotlight Omaha podcast, brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing inside the Pyramid Contractor Studio. I want to talk about you for a second. When we talk about being a mom, being a business owner, being a wife, having to network, running a website, helping people franchise out what you guys are trying to do, how do you balance all of that?
Wow. I don't always do a great job.
Sure.
I'll
Most
just out
don't.
myself.
Most don't, by the way. That giant sigh that you had at the beginning of your answer is usually the response to that question, by the way.
I don't always do a great job. However, I'm getting better at it all the time. I read a lot. I read a lot of leadership books. Those are
Do you have a favorite
super
one?
helpful for me. Man, I have a lot of favorites. I'll just tell you, the one I just finished is The One Thing by Gary Keller.
Okay.
And that has been
Great
really
book.
good at helping me focus. And
Is it hard for you to turn? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
ahead.
Is it hard for you to turn it off at night when you have to have family time, when you have to spend time? I mean, it helps that you and your husband are directly
Yeah.
involved in the business, but obviously can't be business 24/7.
Right. I have had a really good experience with time blocking my schedule. And so that helps me mentally know that there are certain times, I call them the red zone in my schedule each day, where I do not schedule appointments. I do not schedule phone calls. And that's time with my kids in the evening and with my husband and dinner as a family. Like, I really try to protect that time. And so that's been really helpful, is the time blocking and just setting aside, okay, there's some sacred time here that I don't schedule those things. And so that's helped.
To the portion of doing business with your spouse, I think oftentimes we see the husband is good at this, the wife is good at that, or vice versa. What are yours and your husband's strengths and weaknesses, and how do you balance each other?
This is really good because we just came out of a season since COVID. Like, there were a couple years there where he was full-time in the business with me, and it was challenging, I will say, because we were learning at a deeper level exactly where we're both gifted at and where we're not.
Sorry, I'm not sure what just happened. There we go. Sorry, go ahead.
So we were both learning what we're gifted at and what we're not. And what we've discovered is that he is really great at building relationships with people, at staying in touch with people. Like, he does really well at reach outs and making phone calls to people that we haven't talked to in a while. And he really enjoys that relational side of the business. And so I let him do a lot of those pieces. And then when it comes to sitting down with people and getting people started and going through their health assessment, or talking about putting together a program for people, or even doing some business training workshops, I tend to take the lead on those sides. And so He's a cheerleader. He's probably my,
Sure.
my biggest fan for sure.
It's a big deal.
But he is also really great at the relational side.
Is there any part about what you do now that when you started, you didn't want to do, didn't think you were good at, or thought you hated, but actually enjoy the process now that you've gotten into it?
I think I was surprised that I was not a salesperson. I would have never seen myself as a salesperson.
Same, by the way.
You know?
That's the part I did want to do.
A lot of people come with that idea. And I think part of it is we have this negative idea of sales, right? We all have had that negative experience.
Everybody thinks of a used car salesman when they
Right.
think of sales. Yeah, absolutely.
The poor car salesman, they always get thrown under the bus, don't they? But I think people come with this negative idea of what a salesperson is, and they're like, I don't want to be that person.
You don't want to have the Hawaiian shirt and the gold chains.
Right. Yeah. And so what
Man, we were just having all sorts of technical difficulties here. I'm so sorry. There you go. All right.
What I have loved about it and discovered over the years is that I love helping people, and I love sitting down and learning about people and learning where they're coming from and helping them think a little bit bigger. And I also heard somebody in our Centersphere group recently say that sales is just a transfer of enthusiasm.
That's a good point.
And I'm
It
like,
really
I
is.
can do that. I
Yeah.
can do that. I can help motivate people to make good decisions about their health, about their finances.
We'll do that
That
for
kind
me
of
real
thing.
fast, because let's talk, for lack of a better term, talk people into the room, but we all know somebody that has failed at a diet or didn't work out, or they tried the lose weight fast pills that cost them $1,000 and they end up gaining 5 pounds. We all know somebody that has
Yes.
that story, right? If
Yes.
somebody is looking at Hershey Holistic Health's website, which is scrolling across the bottom of your screen right now, and it sounds too good to be true, and you're saying you've heard this sales pitch before, why is it different? Why does it work?
Why is what we do different?
Yeah.
Yes. And again, I have to attribute that back to our brand partner, Shackley, because honestly, without Dr. Shackley's legacy and vision and mission for creating these all-natural health products, I would not have a business today, and I would not have a tool that I could sit down in front of somebody and very confidently share with them and say, hey, this is going to work for you. I think the way Shackley does it, and what I love about it is with the inch loss specifically, is they help people end that yo-yo diet cycle. So there is a science to inch loss that a lot of people don't realize when they try to lose weight. Like when we cut calories, we're going to lose weight, right? You can cut calories any way you want. You
Sure.
can just stop eating and you're going to lose weight. But you're going to lose two types of weight. You're going to lose muscle mass and you're going to lose fat. And what we don't want to lose is muscle mass. And so I love that Shackley has been innovative and thoughtful in their inch loss program to create a product that is clinically proven to help you hold on to 100% of your lean muscle mass while you lose weight. And that helps people when they get down on the scale, right? They lose the 40 pounds they want to lose.
But it's
They're
where they want to
losing
lose
the
that.
right 40
Yeah.
pounds. Exactly. And their metabolism is faster at the end than when they started. So that's a huge difference than I would say in other conventional.
You mentioned in your
Things.
bio you want to grow to 15 teams. Why is 15 the number, and how do we get there?
Oh, 15. Why is 15 the number? 15 is a good number because that just gives me a goal for each of the next 5 years to build about 3 or 4 teams a year.
Sure.
And so that's where I got to that 15 number. And then also I would love to bring together all the different communities and the different, what's the word?
Parts of
The
town.
different uniqueness, yes,
Sure.
in parts of town of Omaha. Like it still surprises me that Omaha is one of the most segregated cities in the U.S. And I would love to have teams in North Omaha and South Omaha and Elkhorn and Bennington and Benson and all of these different places in Omaha to bring together a diverse group of people who are all focused on the same thing of pursuing wellness and helping their communities and families live better lives.
Can you kind of give us an overhead view of what that looks like and how if somebody wanted to become part of the team, how they can go about doing it?
Yes. So basically, it's just a conversation. It's just a reach out to myself through finding me on social media. I'm pretty easy to find.
Her name's on the screen.
Bonnie Hershey on Instagram or Facebook. And just reaching out and saying, hey, I'd love to have a conversation. And we can sit down and chat, and I can share more about what we do and why we partner with the brand partner that we do, and see if they're a good fit.
How do we get to the 15 teams? What do we like? What is it that you would need from the city of Omaha or from networking or maybe this podcast that can help you get there?
I am looking for people who are saying, you know what, I could use an extra stream of income. And this isn't quitting what you're currently doing. You know, these are people who are saying, man, I have a full-time job over here, but I would love to be part of this and helping make an impact in people's lives and in my own family's life. My own family could be impacted in this way as well. And so I'm looking for people who can give up 10 to 15 hours a week. That's all that's required to get started and to start seeing some significant movement forward.
If you're talking to somebody that's in networking or maybe you're meeting a new entrepreneur and they're thinking about starting their own business, what's the one piece of advice you'd like to give them?
I would say don't discount the network marketing industry. Take a look at it. You know, I think sometimes people come with an arrogance toward the network marketing industry, but it's an arrogance out of ignorance. And we don't want to have that kind of arrogance toward it without giving it a real good look, because not all companies in this network marketing space are created equal, and they're all different. And so giving it a good look before you decide to build a business, right?
Sure.
Is worth it.
Do you have a favorite piece of advice you were given when you first started?
Oh my. A favorite piece of advice.
Or something that maybe has stuck with you over the years?
Yes. I would say once you find a brand partner that you love, right? Something you can wholeheartedly get behind, is don't quit. Like that's the big thing, right?
Yeah.
Is just keep going.
That's oftentimes
keep growing
the sentiment people pass in here is,
yeah.
You always lose if you stop.
Yeah.
And that's that rings true for a lot of people. Bonnie, I appreciate you doing this.
Yes,
we're
thank
hitting
you.
the kind of portion of the show where we like to cut things off. Is there anything about Hershey Holistic Health that we haven't touched on that people should know about?
I think we touched on the big things.
Okay.
I think we touched on those. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for being here. And you can check out Hershey Holistic Health at HersheyHolisticHealth.com and scrolling across the bottom of your screen right now. Maybe you're looking to start your weight loss journey, or maybe you just want to be healthier for you and your family. You can do that at Hershey Holistic Health. Stop by Bonnie's website today. And if you have more questions or maybe want to become part of the team, you can do all that at her website as well. We'll be back tomorrow at 11 o'clock here on the Spotlight Omaha podcast, brought to you by Pixel Fire Marketing inside the Pyramid Contractor Studio. We'll see you on a Wednesday.
Okay, thank you.